Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood because the neighborhood is full of blood. There's blood in the streets. The cryptos markets are doing this, except they're doing this. And they're doing it hard. And I'm super excited because I'm one of those people that actually believes in the technology. I did get into Bitcoin when it was about 12,000, 13,000. It's currently around 9,000. So I lost a little bit of money, but that's okay because I don't put all my eggs in at once. So I'm actually excited because I believe in the product itself, in the whole technology and the whole currency issue. So to me, I see it as a sale. And most of the people are fleeing when they see things like this. They're like, "Ah, crypto! I don't want to ever buy anything." But you go into the malls and you see these signs with these red signs that say sale. Everybody runs into the stores. So everybody is trained to be a consumer on the product level, but not on the investment level. And I love days like this. I mean, I see beautiful things happening in the cryptos market. So I bought a little bit of Litecoin. I bought a little bit of Ethereum. Ethereum is beautiful. It dropped below 1,000. It's at like 700, 980 something, 90 something at the time that I bought it. I don't care. I just hit buy and dollar cost average as it goes. But to me, this is one of the few markets that is actually authentic. It's not oversaturated. It's not completely controlled. However, Bitcoin does have derivatives written on it. So, in much the same way that silver and gold are suppressed in price, the Bitcoin derivatives can be used for that, but I don't see them being used for that. And in fact, the expiration for the derivatives has occurred, and they are the Bitcoin futures were always selling a little bit low. So I kind of expected Bitcoin to drop, but I did want to own a little bit of Bitcoin before that, just in case it took off. So I bought a little bit. So of course, yeah, I'm out, not too much, only like a couple $100, but because I only bought a little at the time, and now I'm hitting the buy button. So like I said, this is a not saturated market, not like other markets, and I don't see it as a manipulated market yet. That doesn't mean that down the road it can't be manipulated. Eventually, the government will always get their grimy little hands into things, and the leftists of this world, for some reason, always love to have centralized authority over them because they are a little bit slow and stupid, and they can't take care of themselves and lazy, so they want the government to do everything for them. And they want to be able to go to their friends and go, what's the next hottest thing that I need to do so that I can, make some money? And then their friends tell them because they don't know how to do research. So that's their research. Word of mouth, chain of mouth. It's like blockchain, but they don't freaking get it. That blockchain is the better way. The decentralized way is better. You can still do that as a conservative on the right wing, but you can be smart about it. You can be independent. You can be sovereign as you were meant to be. See, the problem is they don't believe in God, so they don't believe in sovereignty. And they don't, as a Christian, I believe God gave us free will. As an American, I also believe that our founding fathers built what is a phenomenal country where we are the sovereign government. We are the ones who control what goes on. And we tell our representatives what to do, and they're supposed to go do it. That doesn't always work out that way. The representatives are people, so people are greedy, and they tend to go out and do whatever they want. To their own benefit at the detriment of the people. But America is still one of the freer countries of the world. It's tough to say that because we're really regulated a lot, and I think that President Trump is going to try to change that as much as he can. Right now, he's got to rout out all the corruption that over the years has built up and intertwined in our government. So we've got bad elements mixed with good. And he's got to root out all those bad guys. And it's tough because you got an attorney general like Sessions that kind of just sits on his duff and doesn't really do anything yet. So I'm looking forward to what's to come. Sorry, the lighting's not the greatest thing. I mean, I haven't set up my camera situation yet because I'm doing a bunch of other things, other projects on the side, business-wise. And I really don't care because I Steam it. I just post the videos, and you guys watch them, and I thank you for your support. And I've got a lot of people that are starting to tell me that I'm just a copy and paste kind of person. I don't put my own material out there. So this is for you guys who are criticizing me, telling me I don't put out my own material. This is my material right now. So anyway, I appreciate everybody who's supported me. Haven't had a chance to put together that giveaway. I passed 500. I'm almost at 600 followers now, and I told everybody I was going to do the 500 person giveaway. But I did also say that I wanted to make a certain amount of income, and I haven't reached that yet. But at the same time, I did tell you guys 500, so I may go ahead and do that. And hopefully, if we get another spike back or another rise in the markets, I might liquidate some crypto and put together a gift basket for you guys, so that I can be faithful to my word. But anyway, so when you see blood in the streets, you go and you buy. You dollar cost average. Dollar cost averaging means if you buy in here and the market starts to drop and you believe in what it is that you believe in, you buy here. And if the market starts to drop and you believe in what you believe in, you buy here. If the market starts to drop and you believe in what you believe in, you buy here. So you're always in the market. So if you buy in here and it takes off, you've had all these positions so that you can make money off of this one, this one, this one, this one as it rallies. You may be still up here and it may not have rallied to that point. Now it rallies to that point. Now you made money off of that. So but you dollar cost average. If you really believe in it, you're going to want to buy it cheap always. So as it goes down, you won't panic. New people that come into investing make all the biggest mistakes, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why they do that kind of thing. See, I'm not worried. If the market's, Bitcoin could go to zero for all I care. I've put a couple thousand into it, and Litecoin could go to zero, put a couple thousand into it. But like I said in my other videos, I believe the dollar's going in the toilet. And I've also put my money into commodities, and those commodities markets are rallying right now. So I'm making money off of the commodities, even if the cryptos aren't making any money. But I believe eventually everything's going to make money because you've got a saturated stock market. Who the heck is going into the stock market? It's not the average person. It's the central banks around the world. They're acting like hedge funds instead of banks. That's a no-no. That is a big-time no-no. And all of that is they deregulated the banking industry, but they left regulations on all other businesses. These banks are evil. Bill Clinton in our country deregulated the banking system so that we could form Citigroup and all these conglomerates, J.P. Morgan, Chase, all these big conglomerate companies, where it used to be you could only be a bank, and an investment house was not allowed to merge with a bank because they're two different financial industries. One is a lender and a place to deposit your money. And then the other one is a place to invest and grow your money. This one is just to deposit so you can use it for expenses and cash flow. This one is to increase the amount of income you have. And then the insurance companies and all that stuff. And they all had separate financial aspects that didn't overlap. They were protected from each other. So if the banking industry went under, these two industries were still there. Or if this industry went under, these two industries were still there. But now, because of Bill Clinton and Graham Leach Bliley, all these different financial institutions can meld together and become one giant conglomerate. And if one fails, they all get pulled down. So it's a very weird world, and everybody is just piling their money into stuff because they know their money is becoming worthless. Their dollars are becoming worthless because the banks are just printing them and buying whatever they want to do for free. There's no cost to the banks. It's costs to the taxpayer. When we make money and we pay our taxes, government just will print more money. Even if we don't pay our taxes, you make money and the government or the central bank is the one who creates your money, they'll just print more, so the value of what you have is going down, getting sucked. The value is getting sucked out of your money to go into the new currency that's being created. So it's a real crazy world, and that's why I like cryptocurrencies. It's a new start. However, there is that risk that you don't know who started the cryptocurrency. It could be the mark of the beast. It could be tracked eventually, and there are those risks. But I mean, I still believe in the technology. I think that these kinds of technologies are double-edged sword. One side could hurt you, or it can hurt the other person. And whenever you're using a double-edged sword, you have to be aware of those things. So that if you're using a sword and you use a sword, you go to swing it, and it bounces back, it can cut you. So you have to know how to use your weapon. You have to know how to use your tools properly. So to me, Ooh, I see a little lint there. I don't like that. Get that dirt off my shoulder. But anyway, the way I see it is start to learn. If you're going to go into cryptocurrency, start to learn the market. If you're afraid of cryptocurrencies, I'm not giving you investment advice, but I would kind of urge you to look into it, you know? What do you have to lose? Yeah, you could lose a little bit if you put in a little bit. You could lose a lot if you put in a lot. You can make a lot if you put in a lot or a little bit. These things move pretty rapidly, and these are one of the few markets. What happens is when they regulate markets, you don't get these large swings. Markets tend to move like this when they're regulated. You know, right now the stock market is regulated, but it's regulated and the banks are also putting money into it, so it's doing one of these things where it's growing slowly, 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 slowly. It's not justified, but it's growing slowly, slowly, slowly. You don't even see corrections. A correction goes like this, and then it goes like that. In the cryptos, it's a true market. You're seeing it go like this, and then boom, and then boom, and then boom, boom, boom. So it's a true roller coaster ride. And I love roller coasters. I made the most amount of money off of roller coasters. And I would urge people to kind of look into it. If you know it's a roller coaster, make sure that when it does this, you don't buy in here. When it does this, you don't buy in up here. When it does this, go, oh, I have a chance to buy a lot of it if I want. Or a little of it if I want. I have a chance to get some, at least some exposure. And that's my thinking. I always want to have some exposure to innovative technologies, money-making potential, and wealth preservation opportunities. So, but if you have no wealth, what's there to preserve? So to me, if you have no wealth, you should be more tolerant to risk anyway, unless you have a family. Like me, I have a family. I have high risk tolerance, but I have a lot of savings, so I don't care. To me, I'll do anything. I act as if I'm poor, though. When times get tough, I don't spend any money at all. So I'm kind of weird in that regard. I have high risk tolerance, but at the same time, I'm super conservative and frugal. So be aware of the innovation. If you believe in cryptocurrencies and you believe in the technology and you believe in decentralization and that you are sovereign and you should control your life and how you spend your money, and that taxation is truly theft, which, in my opinion, I believe taxation is theft. The government's going to try to tax cryptocurrencies, but how do you do that when there's so many transactions, there's so many different types of tokens? It's really confusing in the tax forms of how you're supposed to declare your taxes. And the way I see it is if you stay in cryptocurrency, you don't have to pay tax to the U.S. government or to any government because you're not in their currency. A coin like Ripple is a banking coin, so if you get into Ripple, the banks can track you. And the governments can track you, and they can tax you. So Ripple is going down in the toilet. I don't really like Ripple. I didn't buy any Ripple. When it rallies, I'm happy because it's a cryptocurrency. But at the same time, I wouldn't put my own money into it because I don't like the banks. Banks serve their purpose, but when they're evil, like most of the banks are today, they've made so much money and there are only a few left over. That's not a really free market industry anymore. It's monopolized or it's oligopolized, meaning you have a bunch of strong companies that are controlling that market, and it's not really free anymore. So when banking is free again, if banking is ever free again, that is the day that I'll be happy. But right now, and I'll support the banks. But right now, the way the banks are, they're abusive. They abuse people. They write accounts whenever they want. Wells Fargo is a perfect example of that. If you look up all the scams of Wells Fargo, you have HSBC, which is a bank overseas, but is expanded into other countries and has done corrupt things. That's another example. There's a little bit of scamming in Bank of America. I've been a Bank of America client for many years, but they're even starting to do it. JP Morgan Chase or Chase Bank, I mean, the list goes on and on that there are scams going on with these banks. So I'm not too happy with it. So when Ripple comes out, and that's basically a central bank coin, but I'm sure the little banks have interest because we don't even know who owns the central banks. They have stockholders or shareholders, and it's usually other banks, but and it's usually the big ones like JP Morgan. Ripple is not one of my favorites. I'll trade it maybe someday just to make some money, but the thing is, I want to avoid anything central bank because they've really screwed up our economy to the point where people are having to use credit now to buy things, and that's what happened in the crypto market. People were buying credit, and you see the markets go like that. Whenever you see markets go like that, it's inflationary sign, and it's also a sign people are using credit to buy things. They don't have the money. The economy is crappy, so they're using other means to subsidize their purchases or to assist their purchases, and credit is a big one. I try to avoid using credit for those kinds of purposes if I can't pay it back, because at least if I put my own money in it and it crashes to zero, I'm at zero, and I don't owe anyone any money. And I would only use credit if I were to purchase like real estate. Right now, I don't like real estate. I see real estate has gone right back up to where it was before the 2008 crash, and I'm avoiding real estate. Yeah, you can still make money in real estate in certain sectors. I mean, if you're doing like high-end stuff, I mean, usually the high-end stuff is still okay because you're dealing with people who have lots and lots and lots of money. I don't like to deal in high-end real estate markets because to me that's a saturated market, and I'd be putting in a lot of my income in order to get a return, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather put in a small amount of my income, leverage the asset to make money so that I make more money and I multiply my income. So anyway, real estate to me I think is going to crash along with the stock market, and I'm just waiting for those days. Or they may be crashing right now and we don't see it because the governments are just printing, and the bond markets as well. So that's just my quick take on the markets. I want you to see I'm not scared. I'm not terrified of what's going on. I actually love it. I would actually love to see Bitcoin go back down to 3,000. If I saw Bitcoin go back down to 3,000 or even 300, oh, my bank account will be emptied out into Bitcoin. That's what I would say. And I love Litecoin and I love Ethereum, but there are also little coins that I'm looking at that I want to purchase into. I'm not going to say because I don't want to give you guys heads up into what I want to do. I'll pump it later, and trust me, I'll pump it. And there's nothing wrong with that. People do it all the time. They pump their book. As soon as they buy into something, oh, hey, look at this coin. You know, but in the end, the most safe ones are going to be your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, and your Litecoin. This is why Coinbase is only using Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin on their exchange. Bitcoin Cash might even be a good buy at this point because most people are not even looking at that. So you may want to look into that too. I haven't seen it drop that much because not many people were in it. So there's not much volatility in the Bitcoin Cash, and I don't really like that kind of market. I want volatility so I can make money. All right, y'all, I'm going to cut it here. 18 minutes. I try to keep my videos short, but I blab. My mouth moves, and I can't stop it. So anyway, you guys have a good week. Hopefully you didn't buy in with credit, and hopefully you didn't get caught in this crash so that now you're over-leveraged, you're over-geared with your credit, and it's crashed, and now you owe money, and you're messed up. Never, ever do that. If you don't have the money, don't buy it. That's a great Saturday Night Live skit. It's with Steve Martin. I can't remember who it was, but it's about don't buy things if you don't have the money because people were buying things on credit. Okie doke. Cash only. Don't leverage. I mean, maybe you want to do it now. It's up to you if you want to do that. I'm not that type of person. I only do it on my own cash. But if you believe the markets are going to rally like I do, now's a good time. All right. Peace in the crypto world.